We did our public policy project on the new Evergreen Line gas tax, which is supposed to be implemented in April 2012. The Evergreen Line gas tax is new tax on gas, which will add an additional 2 cents to every liter of gasoline purchased. A lot of people may argue that 2 cents is not a lot of money, but it's not the price of the tax that is upsetting drivers in Vancouver. It's who has to pay the tax that is perplexing. Drivers in Vancouver already pay the highest gas tax in all of Canada at 45.4 cents per liter, and after the Evergreen Line gas tax it will rise to 47.4. And to add on to this, carbon tax is expected to rise yet again in 2012 from 5.56 cents per liter to 6.95 for a person in Vancouver that drives 24,000 kilometers annually. This means that they pay $1,090 with the current taxes, $1,138 after the implementation of the Evergreen Line gas tax, and $1,175 after the increase in carbon tax. It's a lot of money to begin with, and paying anything more would upset anyone.
The revenues from the Evergreen Line gas tax goes towards funding the construction of the new Evergreen Line, something that drivers in Vancouver are unlikely to use. So why is it that the driver has to pay for the cost of something that they won't use? The problem of the free rider arises. While TransLink loses about $6.4 million annually from those failing to purchase tickets for use of TransLink transportation, they are using gas tax revenues to fund a project that doesn't benefit the people that are paying the cost of it. Anyone that has ever gone on a SkyTrain knows how easy it is to hitch a free ride. Maybe instead of increasing gas taxes, TransLink needs to decrease the number of fare evasions. Furthermore, while the original plan was to have the Evergreen Line finished and running by 2009, it has been pushed back to 2012, and as of now, construction has not even yet begun with TransLink, now estimating its completion by 2014. Where is all the money going to? And what's the reason for all these setbacks? In addition to setback in time, they are also short of funds by $70 million.
There are several alternative solutions to this problem. First, you could use the revenue from gambling taxes to pay for the Evergreen Line gas tax instead of taxing the drivers. Furthermore, in 2008, TransLink CEOs rewarded themselves with big income increases of over 77%. If TransLink has the funds to give their board of directors an income increase, it is unjustified to impose a new gas tax to pay for the Evergreen Line. Before a new gas tax, the TransLink board of directors should start cutting their salaries. Also, TransLink loses around $6.4 million annually, failing to purchase tickets. Instead of imposing a new gas tax, start the enforcement of purchasing tickets. Let those that will use and benefit from the Evergreen Line pay for the cost of its construction. Construction of turning styles in stations is one way to prevent people from cheating and becoming free riders. Instead of imposing a 2-cent liter tax increase on gas, impose a fare increase for TransLink services. Those that drive and have to pay for the Evergreen Line gas tax will be the ones that benefit least from the new Evergreen Line. Make the beneficiaries pay for the cost. Impose on the people that will potentially use the Evergreen Line in the future.
Intervention should start with increasing TransLink station securities. With Vancouver's population continuing to grow and no plans to reduce fare evasion, TransLink's 6.4 annual loss is expected to increase as well. The Evergreen Line 70 million and 5 years behind schedule. Instead of taxing the drivers, who are less likely to be frequent users of this service, TransLink should start becoming a more efficient system and implement a more resilient security system. In other words, TransLink should reduce the overall quantity of fare evasions and use that money to help the fundings of Evergreen Line. This approach is a public policy as it is a course of action in which TransLink increases security to get rid of the free rider problem. It allocates values by diminishing the free rider problem and is in the circumstances as TransLink has insufficient funds to continue the construction of Evergreen Line. This policy is propulsive as its goal is to get rid of the Evergreen Line gas tax and use revenues from fare evasion to fund the construction of Evergreen Line. This policy will be imposed by the Mayor's Council and the TransLink Board of Directors.
The Evergreen Line gas tax is unjustified. Just ask yourself, would I pay for something I wouldn't use? Probably not. So get rid of the Evergreen Line gas tax. Stop taxing the drivers and tax the people that will benefit from a new SkyTrain. Just leave the drivers alone.